Another case of a United States corporation canceling an individual for offending China. Imagine my shock. Blizzard Taiwan recently did an interview with a Hearthstone Grandmasters winner, Blitz Chung, and during the interview he said at a point for only a few seconds that he supports the Hong Kong protests, and in his words he did say liberate Hong Kong. And Blizzard not only cut the interview when it was live by adding in ads and just cutting it out practically, they deleted the VOD as well. Now, honestly, I do not think that this was the appropriate place or time to put out a call to action to mention your political stance and really bring attention to it. This is a professional gaming scene, and you are here to discuss games. There's definitely better places to voice your opinions on issues like this, such as on different forms of social media. This is someone that is very well known in the Hearthstone professional scene, and he also has a pretty big following on social medias, but what Blizzard has done about the situation is such a disproportionate response. Blizzard has removed this Hearthstone player from the Grandmasters League, rescinded all of his prize money, and have suspended him from professional play for a whole year for this interview. And they even fired the casters. Now, the casters were obviously leading the interview, leading him towards these statements, so in a way, I maybe understand suspending them for however long they felt was appropriate, but firing them? I think that this is not an appropriate punishment when they ducked their heads and visually did not want to be part of the conversation, even though, yes, they did antagonize the player to discuss these topics and to discuss his opinion on them. Now, this was Blitz's interview, so if Blizzard wants to say he shouldn't have been speaking in an official capacity, and they themselves don't want to take an official stance, a warning should have sufficed because Blizzard's rules do say that they don't want political talk around the game, and that is perfectly fine. I completely respect that. But the thing here is that their rules say at their discretion, and that means whatever the hell they want it to mean. That is a problem that I have with a lot of companies. Hate speech and bullying, and at their discretion, mean what these companies want. They are leaving everything open-ended so that they can back themselves up when they decide to ban someone. They should have just told the player to leave that stuff out in the future, give him a warning, and moved on since he did not have a history of doing anything like this. But for a company that claims they do not want to take a political stance, they sure as hell have taken stances about issues in the West. Stances especially through characters they have created. So isn't it just a little bit hypocritical when they are doing it themselves? By censoring him, it's taking a political stance, supporting all of the censorship and the control that the current regime in China has over the country and wants to enact on Hong Kong as well. Let's be clear. Blizzard is claiming that supporting Hong Kong, it makes them either look bad or it is offending specific groups of people. And that group of people that Blizzard believes is being offended is the Chinese government. The severity of his punishment is obviously trying to prevent anyone from speaking out about these issues again. We all know that this is obviously to please their shareholders. I'm not sure if you all know through the extremes of the Tencent situation in the gaming industry, how Tencent owns huge stakes in a lot of large gaming companies like Blizzard, Epic, Riot. I mean, the list could go on. But this is a very obvious move to please them, and Blizzard has made moves in the past to please them. This is not a new situation, and I urge you all to check out my channel and check out other videos that I have made on Tencent in the gaming and entertainment industries, or just to look more into it yourself. It is always better to know information and not be in the dark. Companies like Blizzard want a taste of that sweet, sweet, untapped Chinese market, and unless they abide by what their shareholders like Tencent want, their titles would never touch the region. In the end, this is one of the worst things we've seen Blizzard do. Now, I'm sure that this player will receive job offers from other companies and from different games, and I'm sure that his career is not ruined, but this player and the casters did not receive the correct punishment, and honestly, I'm sure this is not the last time that we will see these types of situations happen. But that is all that I wanted to discuss today. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like, and if you did not, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.